Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at a clip I uploaded from the past, some improvements I've made over the years, and when I mean past, I mean it was 6 years ago. So I'm going to kind of show you what improvements I've made over that time. And one of the main points of this video is that most progress in your tabla playing will take a bit longer than you want. I would have preferred that these changes in my playing came within a year or 2 years, but really they take however long they take. You really can't control when the transformation will happen. So that's kind of what I'm getting at in this video. Now, if you're looking for a place to keep your tabla transformation on track, keep you motivated, disciplined, and just most importantly, consistent, click the link in the description and join us at the Skool community. Now, I will say this is a place for people that want to invest in their tabla playing, because without any investment, you really can't reach your full potential, really. Free YouTube tutorials will definitely take you far. You can gain a lot from them, but if you really want to find consistency and commitment, click the link in the description and join the Skool community. Now, let's take a look at my playing from 6 years ago. Here it is. So there are a couple things I want you to notice. I'm going to play it back one more time. I want you to look at how much my hand on the dial, how much it's moving. And really how inefficient it is. Let's look at it one more time. This is a single speed, of course. Look at the dere, how much I had to move for that. There's no real flow in it. There's not a lot of, let's say, refined movements. Everything takes a lot more energy than it should. So now that we've seen this, let me now show you how I play something similar now. So let's say I was playing, a very similar rela, just anything to do with, and I will explain what this is, but let me just show you the movements. Notice how much more easily my hand glides over the instrument. That comes from a few different things. I'll get into exactly what that is. Another one of my favorite improvements is that I keep my pinky in. I talk about this a lot on this channel. It triggers a lot of people. But for relas like this, it's just so useful to do that. It just looks so flowy. So I'll play it a little bit more and hopefully you'll get the idea. So. So that's kind of one of the major changes that I think came into my tabla playing. Now, of course, I can play it faster and things like that too. In the video I made 6 years ago, and a thing I would do in a lot of my previous videos, I still kind of do them. I would warm up for about 30 minutes and then film maybe 30 seconds of me going double speed. That was the most I could do because I just didn't really practice that much. I didn't really push my hand to its limits and progress. I really largely just played in my comfort zone. One of the biggest misconceptions that I had was that you play everything all the time as clear as you can. But the problem with that is that you want to always be, for a portion of your practice, in new territory, meaning that it's uncomfortable for you at that speed. The clarity may not always be there, but what you're really developing is just the looseness of your hand. So that's a major aspect that I didn't understand at that time. Now, 6 years, I know it doesn't seem like I made really a lot of change in that amount of time. A lot of people progress a lot more. There was the whole idea of staying motivated and consistent. And I think that was a big personal problem of mine that I've done my best to solve with the Skool community, other communities, just having friends and staying connected with other tabla players. At the time, I lived by myself, and no one in that city probably even knew what tabla was. So it was a bit difficult, to just stay inspired and keep practicing regularly. So these are some changes that came in my tabla playing. Clarity, of course, but the main thing is just the looseness of the hand, which I know seems trivial. Everyone just wants to play fast and play clearly. But being able to do it effortlessly is just so much fun. I can go almost anywhere and do this. Another thing is I never really showed my face while playing, and it was because I was under so much tension that I just didn't want to show that. But now it's there's not a lot of tension. Okay, maybe a little bit, but there's not as much as it was before. But I'm still progressing as well. So these are some things to keep in mind, that progress in tabla playing isn't just about how fast you're going, how much clarity it is. It really is also about how relaxed you're able to play maybe the same thing that you played last year. So the last thing I'll say about this before I get into exactly what I played and how to play it is that there's a bit of a shift also in me as well. Back in those times, I really wanted to make a video where I prove myself. Everyone knows that, I can play well despite not showing my face, strangely. But that was I really had this sort of like desperation to really be seen and everyone hear me, think I play well. I've kind of lost that to a large degree. And that actually reflects in my hand as well. There's not a lot of approval seeking in it. And really, that just relaxes you so much. There's no pressure on you to really just perform and always play well and just make sure everyone thinks you're great. As soon as that pressure you release, it is crazy how much your hand will just open up. And the last thing on this is that your hand in many cultures, Indian culture, and actually all cultures from around the world, you bless people with your hand. It like reflects something to do with consciousness and all that. So as soon as you relax and just release that pressure to always perform and do well, your hand will just do things you didn't think are possible. So that's that on this topic. Now let's get into exactly what I played. So this is basically the root, or where I got this from. It's dha terikita taka dhin terikita taka dhin terikita taka dha terikita taka dha terikita taka dhin terikita taka dhin terikita taka dha terikita taka dha terikita taka dhin terikita taka dhin terikita taka dha terikita taka dhin terikita taka dhin terikita taka dha terikita taka. So it's deen dal basically, but you're doing this Delhi style terikita in between, and it just sounds very flowy. And people that don't even play tabla much, even they, or don't listen to tabla much, even they can enjoy something like this. So it goes like this. Now, of course, all the cuts are ga. There's some people that'll tell you that there's an exact way on the baya to play this. You start with the index. On the kali, you return in a certain way on the baya. I'm not so strict on that, and that's not how I learned it. So I'm very open to how you use the baya on this. So let me play it a bit faster and a bit even faster than that. So. I really like the sound I was getting there. You have to get this just, you have to really learn how to position the hand. Another mistake I was making before is I would play delicate to here. Took me a long time to realize, just bring it here. Like, it's all so compact. It's all just in this area. It's such a beautiful sound, especially on a good tabla. So here it is a little bit faster. Now, I do a little thing at the end. I just can't help myself, but for the most part, that's how you play it. So this is like the root or the place that, I kind of made a variation. It's not my own variation, but I modified this basically a little bit. So this is what it turned out to be. So घेरे नागतुन तेटे घेरे नागना तेटे घेरे नागतुन तेटे घेरे नागना तेटे केरे नागतुन तेटे केरे नागना तेटे घेरे नागतुन तेटे घेरे नागना तेटे. So this makes it really interesting. You bring the baya basically to the front of this. So it goes like this. So it's really, really a lot of fun. You want a baya that, isn't too, I guess, you basically want some resonance in your baya. You don't want it too dull sounding, otherwise this doesn't come out right. So one more time. A bit faster. Now let's see if I can go a little bit faster. I know I talk about how speed is and everything, but let's just see. Not too impressed with my sound quality there. Could have been a bit cleaner, but that's an example. So basically what I did is I modified what I showed you originally. Brought the baya in the front, and that is such a fun thing to play. One of probably my favorite relas that I play. It's so simple, and it just has so much resonance. It's such an open, that sound and with the baya before it, it's just a beautiful contrast. You can use it in all different sorts of settings. Now let's look at a slight variation I made of this in the video itself. It's basically, I add a dhere dhere in it. And like I said, the dhere dhere I made before was really like erratic. It didn't have any flow to it at all. Let's take a look at this variation. I don't know why it's so small, but घेरे नागतुन तेटे घेरे नागना तेटे घेटे तक धेरे धेरे घेरे नागना तेटे केरे नागतुन तेटे केरे नागना तेटे घेटे तक धेरे धेरे घेरे नागना तेटे. Now that should be kere naka. Probably change that in the video when I edit it. So it'll go like this. Hold on, let me make sure to change the camera. There we go. A bit faster. Now I can go a little bit faster. Let's see how it turns out. Now I know I didn't stop on the sum, but you get the point of how it's supposed to sound. So these are some of my favorite things to play. I'm covering an older video this week because I just recently turned 30 and I had a lot of pressure on myself that I would play a certain way. I would play dere dere, a certain speed, a lot of those things. And I realized that although I did, reach the speed that I wanted to play dere dere at, it just didn't feel right yet. On paper, I played dere dere at that speed, but in reality, it's just too fast for me. I gotta warm up. I gotta really put a lot of tension into it to play that speed. And I just don't find that right anymore. When I was a bit younger, it was just all about clarity and speed. But now, if it doesn't just feel right to me while you're playing it, then it just doesn't matter. Because I think really out of anything in a tabla solo, that people that don't understand tabla, they really feel that in these times more than ever before. It is about the sound, but if someone's just up there doing something that doesn't feel right, everyone just really gets kind of turned off by it. So this is kind of the new change that, I've brought into my tabla playing and performing and things like that. Now there's still some room to go, but if this is a change that you're also interested in making tabla playing something that really sits right with you, it's not just all about on paper how clear, how fast, how much weight you're playing. Really, it should sit right with you. You should click the link in the description and join us at the Skool community. Thank you.